This is the big one, folks. This is the big one. This is the northeast, as far as I can tell, roughly, give or take. It's farthest away from Budapest, so it should be east, and it's, I don't know, the sun seems to rise in the west here. I can't understand it. But this is the big one. This is the northeast corner of the property. This property at the top here is 5 meters wide. Looks sort of like this for the first little bit. And then it kind of triangulates. I don't know the exact length. It's quite long. To about maybe 15, just rough, whatever, just give you a rough thing here. 15 meters wide at the bottom. And then there's another little property that's even thinner. It's like maybe 3 meters wide at most. Beside us to the west. And it widens all the way out to a whopping maybe 5 meters at the bottom. When I say bottom, there's what used to pass as a horse trail or cart path or whatever, and people kind of still vagrants, and some people live up here. No water, no sewage, no electricity, no internet. There's little weekend houses and little shacks here and there, so people still walk it. That particular one on what I call the southeast side is getting overgrown, thankfully, even though just a few properties over to the left, which would be to the east, there is some action there. The road kind of turned, like the road's been cleared, kind of. Still not passable with a car, but you need a tractor or a four-wheel drive truck or something. Even a truck I wouldn't want to. And that guy's clearing land and planting some stuff and doing some stuff. And then it becomes this kind of walking path. And the odd person does crawl through it, but there's not enough traffic to keep it clear. So we appreciate that. And like all roads that are maybe hundreds of years old, they're like 8 feet, 6 feet, 4 feet dug in. Like they've worn out. It's just like a set of old granite stairs at the Acropolis or something. They're so it's a big steep thing. I'll show you that at some other time when we're down there. Like I say, the property's quite long. It's got to be 200 or 300 meters. I'm not quite sure. I'll just check it out. But this is the big one. So there's that net little property, and then we have another property. That same deal. It's a little thinner at the top here than this piece, and that it widens out to 10 or 12 meters wide. So the two of them together kind of add up to, I don't know, 3,000 square meters or 3,500 or something. I just kind of, everything is just ballpark at this point in time, sort of type of thing. But you see that property in between it, nobody else in the entire planet wants to buy it but us. So we just kind of, we're operating, we do have the list of all the people that own these properties. Yes, and go back to the path. So the path comes this kind of abandoned, sunken, barely a human walking path. It's actually the same road that goes down to our property, but I can't even bring the tax return 14 up it. It's completely overgrown, and I don't want to cut it out and open it up to human traffic, walking traffic. I go up the next road, Deke Ference. We have that's why we bought a property facing Deke Ference. I can come out that gate and come straight up the road to, and the road is quite good, and then I just make a hard right at the end of the road instead of turning left to go to the horse farm where I'm getting this manure. And I can get into the property kind of there by kind of kitty-cornering across somebody else's property, and then or I can follow the same pathway around that circles around. It's kind of on that side is a heart-shaped thing, and the Reformed Church owns the last piece of that, and we have the lease on that for 20 years. And then there's a couple other properties between our property and that, and to the left, to the east, there's a swath that's owned by an older couple, a doctor and his wife, who remember Erica when she was 7, 8, and 9, when she was up here with her parents working on the hill. They used to grow grapes here and fruit and so on, and they were up here. They were, then in their 40s or something. Now they're in their 70s, or you know, they're old. They've given us access, and we're just going to assume that we are going to get that one. And then, like I said, I don't know if there's another property, another little thin property, and then the guy that's doing something to the east, but that's what I've considered the stopper. The guy's doing something. So to get here, instead of coming up through trees and cutting trees on other people's properties, like ours is too steep to get directly to here, we have to kind of circumnavigate around. Or like I said, I came up the path, that walking path, which is quite used, and it's quite wide. It's not too bad. It's not perfect, but it gets me up here. I come around here, and I just come into just to the top. We're just going to plant trees here. So this is the northeast corner, the highest point of the whole section, except for the doctors beside us. But that's fine. That's fine. We don't mind. We can start here. We just weed whacked this down. So I just see the tax return. I don't know. It's pretty bright now, but they have I have a bigger racks for the side and the little red stakes. I'm just going in low profile mode, I call it right now, going through the forest and stuff. But to make my, like I moved it for my next one, but or I'm gonna move it now that I see. What I did is I parked the racer there, and I walked back there, found that corner again, and I could see the little red stake coming up, but I couldn't see the red survey stake, you see. So now I'll go to the next point, walk over there with the whacker, and I'll move that to the next point, and then I could be able to see that, and I just kind of make a rough line here, and then we'll start getting this. I'll put the racks on. I know it's all tested out. I'm not going through anything. I can carry it. It's just kind of light straw. It's not heavy stuff, so I have no worries about getting up here. I can put that, you know, it makes it twice as high. I can carry twice as much at a shot, and you know, there might be enough there to do from here to the next survey stake, which is, you know, 100 meters or 75 meters. So that's that. This is the big one. It's like I said, it's a huge, you know, right up here at the top, it's growing back. You know, forests tend to encroach out from themselves, so that fence line was always there, and it just kind of morphing out. There's kind of some areas here that are clear. This is maybe right now I'm standing on that other little property that's between us, and now I'm on our second property, sort of type of deal. There is some nice trees here, not too many. People have been stealing them, and rose hips, and there's materials that we can use to mulch. Now we're probably on the next property we want to absorb, and the Reformed Church over there, after this scrubby stuff, there's a little piece of pasture there. You know, there's opportunities here. There's mats here. There's pigs. It's rough. Boy, oh boy, it's rough. The pigs just come in here in the fall and spring, and when it's dry or wet, and just have a field day. But we can get something going here. This is the big one. This is the big project. I don't know if I mentioned that yet. Well, since we're here, as well come back around. You know, this is a nice, fairly clear area. Like, it's been just sitting here for years. If we can get a line there. It's not on contour, but it is kind of on contour too. You know, I'm not entirely tied to this entirely. Absolutely have to go on contour. I'll use the property line, and then I'll run contour lines maybe that way after I get, you know, the Polonias grow in 5 years, 3 years even. There'll be significant amount of shade to work. I start cutting this stuff down in the shade of the Polonias. There's the tax return. So the next stake is here. Yeah, see here? Now, we can't see it exactly, but we can get a rough idea where it is, at least having a machine there. So I'll move that little red stake, cut those higher ones down. Well, you know, I can get a pretty good idea. So I go from this point up to there, right through those trees is the property line.